Oh, yeah. Good evening, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good everything. You know how we say it on the Word Cafe live show. We're here again. Yes, a wonderful day. I mean, it's been here, where I am in the part of the globe. Yes, how are you? What is it like? Yeah, it's been raining here where I am in Africa, Nigeria to be precise. Yes. I guess it's sunny somewhere around where you are. Whatever it is, it's a beautiful day. Yeah, we are back to the Word Cafe live show, and I am your host, Amakri Isobwe. And you know how we do it on the show. Today, I have a wonderful personality with me. I know you want to see the face. Is he a he? Is he a she? Well, I'll tell you, is a she. And I call her the diabetes hero. You will know why I call her that when I bring her on. What's her name? Tonye Oburoh. Yes, that's her name. Where is she? Where is she? You're wondering. Okay, let me bring her in. Da, 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 da. Bam, there she is. Hi. Good evening,
Hi, good
Tonye.
evening. Good evening. Good evening on my
Welcome.
side of the world.
Welcome, welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you. Very, very well, thank you.
How's the family?
They're all good. They're all good.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
wonderful. Yes, Tony is somewhere around the globe where you're wondering. She's in the UK. You can guess from the accent, but don't worry. Na Naija she be you. Anyhow.
Always a Nigerian, true and true. I never deny my roots.
Of course. So what was it like today? I mean, where you are in the UK? Was it like the weather?
Today the weather has been good. It's not bad. It's We haven't had rain today, so it's been intermittent between sun and a cool breeze. So not too bad. But obviously, when
Right.
the winter hits, we don't like the winter. But at the
Why?
moment, we're in summer going into autumn.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Well, back here in Nigeria, where I am back home, it's raining in the south. You know what I mean? Port Harcourt and the rain. We just have two weathers here, which you know,
Hmm.
sunshine and rainfall. So this the season, and it's been raining as in all day where I am. And well, we're used to it now. Yes, so let us go down into the business. Who is Tonye Oburo? I guess I mean I know my guests are wondering who is this person? Who is this person? Go ahead. Who is Tonye Oburo?
Well, I like to keep things simple. I call myself the simplicity lady.
Okay.
Tanya Burr is a wife, a daughter of God, a mum, first
Hmm.
and foremost, obviously, wife, mum. And professionally, I am a clinical pharmacist with a special interest in diabetes and hypertension management. I love to entertain people. I love to hang out. I love to have fun. So that's me
Hmm.
in a
So you're an
nutshell.
so you are a diabetes entertainer, if I must use that word.
Entertainer, if you say yes, but I'm a clinician, so I wouldn't use the word entertainer because I don't think in clinic we entertain people. But obviously we
Right.
entertain their needs, we listen to their needs. So you can, it depends on how you look at it.
You're a pharmacist by training, if I'm
Yes,
correct. So how
absolutely.
come? Yes. So what are you doing in this line of business?
As you know, obviously, I'm within the United Kingdom and the developed world, as they call it, or the first
Hmm.
country, whichever one you want to put it. They obviously are more versatile to the needs of multidisciplinary team.
Okay.
And you initially do your training and you can actually choose what angle you go into. So you can go into community, so being on the what they call the streets and being your local
Mm.
chemist, or some people say
Okay.
herbalist.
Hmm.
You can also be a hospital pharmacist, where you're within the hospital working as part of a multidisciplinary team. You can work in industry, and more recently, over the last 7 years, and even more for some, but now more prevalent, you can go into general practice, which is family doctors.
Okay.
And when you're in there, you can either be a generalist or if you have a special interest in either respiratory, cardiac, Endocrinology, which has got to do with diabetes, you can actually go down that pathway. So the door is open. It's different from my home country where I come from, where the laws haven't relaxed yet to allow pharmacists to to prescribe. Here we have training platforms where you can then obviously go on to become an advanced practitioner. You're not a doctor, but you're an advanced practitioner, either
Okay.
within a certain area or general.
Oh, why? So now, why diabetes? I know people will be wondering why are you calling her a diabetes hero? So I think let's hear from her. Why diabetes?
You chose this name, hero, but um, diabetes is many years ago. If you told me that I would be a diabetes specialist or someone with a special interest in diabetes, I probably would not believe you. It's not something that caught my attention. However, going into general practice, I started to see the need. In diabetes, it's something where initially you can actually have I always say with respiratory, with asthma, for example, somebody dies straight away, whereas diabetes is a slow progressing disease. Someone can have it and they don't know that they have it. But however, my interest grew deeper and deeper after tragic struck my family. And my mom passed away due to mismanagement of her suboptimal diabetic control and hypertension control. So obviously that drew the desire. I already had that desire. I already knew about it. I was already treating patients, but or people living with diabetes. But after my mom's demise, I decided that this is something I wanted to do. Yeah.
So more or less, you call a vision like an aha moment for you. Like, no, I won't allow this take people around me anymore because we can actually manage it.
Yeah, so you can say I cut the. I wouldn't. Well, I caught the aha moment, but probably months after she was gone. I think the first couple of months after we had her, or we lost her rather, I was filled with a lot of grief, a lot of anger at the system, anger at the fact that my home country was not very open to the advanced practice and listening to practitioners. Whether that would have saved a life, I don't know. But again, like you rightly said, I felt like, you know what, can I save the entire world? That's, like obviously with the diagnosis of diabetes going, the answer is no. But obviously I can do something for one person. I can do something for one person who can actually, remain alive or remain without less complications and be there for their family and be there to influence their children's life, their grandchildren's lives, or even their life to fulfill their own purpose. And that was what got me going. And I thought, I want to learn about this. I didn't want to be a clinician that was careless enough. I wouldn't use the word careless, but that I didn't know enough. Because in diabetes, you can either know when you get to your limit and know when you have to pass this person on to somebody else, and when to refer on. That's what we say. So I wanted to be able to offer one person that solution, and that's what got me going.
Okay. So now I want to believe this area of specialization has a lot of what I use the word technicalities now. You need to do this, you need to do that. So walking into this domain, how has it been for you so far?
It's a continuous learning pathway. Um, it's like you said, like you rightly said, it's not, you don't wake up, become a pharmacist and then say I choose diabetes. Even if you decide that you want to focus on what we call endocrinology, like I said, to do, and then within endocrinology you decide that diabetes is something that you want to focus because it encompasses the what we call the endocrine system.
Mhm.
You have to follow different pathways. You have to do certain courses here in England. You don't necessarily, because I already have that background degree and you learn that at university. you learn the different disease areas, you then enhance that disease area. So, for example, here in England, I'm what you call an independent prescriber. So I can actually not just recommend medications to people, I can actually see them in clinic, do my own prescriptions, and tell them, give them that prescription to go on. So I'm autonomous in my own decisions. However, there is a learning path. So I remember attending courses after courses, learning from the gurus, the consultants, the nephrologists, which are kidney specialists, the cardiologists, how do you link in all the different aspects, and obviously doing specific courses so that you can manage them from pre-diabetes, which is not really actually being diabetic, to the people who are newly diagnosed, to those who are actually complex. So it's a different, and even today, sometimes I come across patients or people living with diabetes that I have no idea how to manage them. I don't know what to do. There are obviously people who are more senior to me that I pick brains with. I would say to them, and there is no harm in saying to the patient, I don't know, because diabetes, if someone is critical, then they need to be in the hospital. It's not actually coming to your general practitioner or in primary care to say, I'm dying. No, these are the management, the core management. If someone is in crisis, they need to be managed in the hospital. So if someone sitting in front of me and there's a little bit of complexity or a lot of complexity, I'm not afraid to say, I need to discuss this in a team, and we need to come up with a treatment plan for you, and I will get back to you. So we're still working together. We work as part of a team, a multidisciplinary team, the seniors, the consultants, and I think they know my name now, because I'm always either sending an email saying, can I pick your brain? I need to talk to you about this patient. And we sit down and I tell them what I think about it. And then they tell me, well, yes, you're right. There's never really a right or wrong answer. We kind of discuss where my thought is going and where they think I should go, and we come to an agreed decision.
Now, listening to you, clearly what you're doing is not like a one-man show. It's like a concert. You have a lot of people, so you need to depend on each other. Now, what has it been like? I know you said one or two things, but when you call on maybe one senior doctor or one senior practitioner, what has it been like for you? The support you get from them, that is.
When I started, obviously, people were not very conversant with pharmacists being doing this, so it was just a bit like, oh, I thought you were meant to be dispensing the medication that I prescribed. But obviously, as more and more, as England is losing more and more doctors, they're more open to other practitioners going in. So you have nurses and you have pharmacists now that are actually managing patients. It's always been nurses managing alongside doctors. And now you have some pharmacists that manage alongside. So initially, there was that brick wall where people are like, you're trying to talk to them about someone and they're saying, why are you the one dealing with this? But as time has gone on, especially where I live and where I work, is quite a very small community. Or I tend to think it's small. Everybody knows everybody. There's, same consultants, same nephrologist, same cardiologist, and so on and so forth. So when you write an email, and I think the more experience you have, and when you pick brains and you write your letter, you can tell someone's experience by how they word things, and things that you learn. So now people are a lot more open. I can easily just ring the diabetes center at my local hospital and say, it's Tony on the phone. And they say, we get the nurses, to call you back if they're in clinic. And then they call, in fact, they have my mobile number. That's how, but even when I'm off, they call me and they go, I need to talk to you about this patient. So when I started, there was a brick wall, and now, people are more open. Obviously, if I move areas, I would have to probably start all over again, because that area might not know the pharmacists that are this advanced. But it's just always knowing that if you meet the brick wall, you just chop it one at a time until you get through to people.
Oh, now you keep talking about back home. Back home. Just call it Nigeria. That's all. All right. It's Nigeria. Guys, she's a Nigerian, like I said, when we started the show, not just a Nigerian. She was born here. She grew up in Port Harcourt, to be precise, and she knows the streets so well. So don't mind.
I'm not sure I still know the streets that well if they've not changed. But
a couple of changes here and there anyway. Now, do you, what you're doing now, do you perchance have a plan to like scale it up, bring it towards home, Africa and Nigeria, like a cross continental collaboration, you know, in what you do?
Absolutely. I always say to my darling 7 year old that wherever you go, you will always be African. It doesn't, and she argues with me, no, I'm British, and I'm like, yes, you might be born in Britain. I wasn't, and I've been here now, going on 21 years. So obviously, quite a long time. But
Mhm.
Africa to me holds a special place. I was born in Africa, in Nigeria, born and bred to a certain extent, and obviously I came here early, middle age, not middle age. What am I talking about? I came here quite early,
Quite
and then I
early, yeah.
went back to do my college and university and all of that. So it was early enough. But Africa has always held a special place in my heart. And yes, I would love to do stuff in Africa. I would love to, be open, but obviously you have that restriction. You have the fact that they're not open, they're not understanding of the fact that you're a pharmacist and you can do much, and trying to talk to a doctor or trying to approach it from a multidisciplinary aspect is very challenging. Experiences that I've had, during my mother's time before we lost her, trying to say to someone, like, can you talk me through the process? And there is that barrier, and my heart desire is that, clinicians in Africa, in Nigeria to start with, because that's my home country, and
Yeah.
spreading to Africa will be a lot more open, because diabetes is not going away, it's actually getting worse. And we don't have that many clinicians to tackle it. So we're not saying, like like we're trying to push the doctors aside. No, we need everybody. We need the nurses, we need the healthcare assistants, we need the podiatrists, we need everybody to be able to help people that live with diabetes to actually get better. So the answer to your question is yes, my heart, is back home. My heart is to the whole world, but obviously I have a heart for Africa, because that's where I come from. It's very sad when I talk to someone and they say, I just lost my dad to diabetes. And when you really, really dig deep, it's because from the root cause, no one gave the instructions and no one told them exactly, or looked at their medications, or looked at their treatment plan. They just say to them, you've got diabetes. And for some people, years and years and years go by and nobody's looked them up. They just say, oh, I had diabetes. I was told 20 years ago. Nobody's checked them, checked their kidneys, checked their heart. They don't know. They keep saying, no, it's about sugar, but it's not. Don't get me started about back home, but um, I can go on, and I'm trying to hold myself.
Oh
It's not,
no,
I'm
go
not
ahead.
being prejudiced, and I'm not being judgmental about anyone back home. And I think they're amazing doctors and clinicians that are doing an amazing job, but we just don't have enough. And I think having an open mind and actually getting people to know more so that they can treat more, maybe tweaking some of the laws to allow some healthcare professionals to be more involved, just like the advancing world or the advanced world, would actually help a
Mhm.
lot more.
And do you think lobbying our politicians in that direction, because you just talked about laws, lobbying them to see that, see, we can actually collaborate and do better. Do you think that's an option?
Yes. I'm when it comes to politics, I'm very I try to not rock the boat, as you kind of say. But it'll be good if you have, like here, there are certain things you cannot get away with. You can't get away with as a clinician, you can't get away with as a politician. It doesn't matter whether you are the prime minister, you can't get away with certain things because there are laws that govern the land.
Yeah.
Yes, there are laws in Africa, but whether the laws are people are abiding by the laws, rather, it's another story. In an ideal world, it would be good to stand in parliament and explain the reason why, and why people, because they themselves in parliament
Hmm.
most likely have the disease. They
Mm.
just don't
Yeah.
know, or they think that they're being managed, but on the inside of them is actually being it's chopping away on the inside of them, because diabetes is
Yeah.
not just sugar. It affects quite a lot on the inside, and you just don't know. The next thing you hear, somebody needs dialysis. Oh, donate money for kidney transplant. Rather than donating that money for kidney transplant, why don't we change the law to be able to enable people understand how to manage when a kidney function is declining, when the blood pressure is not managed, when the sugars are not managed? And that's why I said to you, don't let me get started, because there's a
Well,
lot to talk about.
you just have to get started because I don't know if you listen to Pastor Paul Adefarasi. He was nominated as the most influential black person, Forbes influential black person of 2021. And I keep telling people I'm so proud he's in Nigerian. Maybe after that you can go listen to his keynote address. He did talk about this. You can run away from it because the truth is, for us to get things done, we must look at it from that, double barrel approach. Management, as in professionals, and the politicians. We just have to marry ourselves somehow. That marriage needs to happen, for us to like get things done. So I'll get you started somehow because you're already in it,
I'm fired
but
up. I'm fired up.
uh,
When you talk about things like that, I get fired up. Yeah.
but don't worry. We say it, like in our local palace here in Nigeria, small, small, we will get there. Not, no, nothing spoiled, we'll go get there small, small. Now, we've been talking about diabetes, and all that. How do you unwind? People, my audience will be like, this lady, she looks all tight and all that. How do you unwind?
I just had a spa day today,
Mm,
so obviously the spa day is not every day. That was a belated birthday present from some dear friends.
okay.
Um, Initially, I would say I don't unwind, but I do try and unwind because I have a family, and my family is very vital to me.
Mm,
Um, and I'm making time, making a conscious effort now to make time. So, for example, this I've had a couple of days off this week where I've spent time with my little girl, taking her to like adventure parks. For me, that's my husband keeps saying, I think you're more excited about the adventure parks than your child. Um,
hmm
Sometimes we tend to do stuff on the weekend. So Sunday is our family day. I do pancakes on Sunday. My
mm,
daughter knows it, and I cannot make an excuse no matter how tired I am. We
mm.
try to play games. I teach her the Nigerian games as best as I can, and the card games, the what. We do all sorts of games as much as possible. Go for walks.
Which of the games, apart from the what?
I don't know what they call those seed things that you
The
put
IO,
in.
is it the IO game?
That's it. That's it. I just call it the seed thing that goes
Mm,
round. I teach her the IO game, and I try to teach her how in Nigeria they call it 10-10, but no, that didn't work. So I just thought, you know what, when you clap and you kick your leg, she was just
exactly.
muddling all over. But I
Mm,
try and make it as much as possible, as much fun. Life is busy in the United Kingdom. We don't have mates, we don't
mm,
have help.
mm.
You're the driver, you're the cook, and all of that. But my husband has, I have to give him a heart for it. Like through the pandemic, he's been working from home sometimes. So obviously we try and partner together. So he's learned to become a better chef, because obviously if I'm
Really?
there and I'm on call, or sometimes you don't know what patient's going to come to you at the last minute and gets complex. You might need to ring an ambulance, you might need to send them into hospital, you plan to finish at a particular time and you don't. So he's obviously being he says babysitter, and I'm like, no, she's your child, you're the father. uh, but no, I find ways to wind, and I love to hang out with friends. I
Mhm.
love to hang out with friends.
Okay.
Sometimes to do a barbecue. Sometimes I just go to a friend's house and I just say, if I talk about diabetes, just shut me down.
Mm,
And we just have a good time. So yeah, I do have a life outside diabetes.
wonderful. Somebody's rooting for you all the way from Africa. Emmanuel Livingston Obasi. I guess you know him from
Yes, nice to see
undergraduate
you,
days.
Emmanuel.
Yes, Emmanuel is nice, nice, nice. Okay, now you from your expression, you seem to have figured out a lot of things. Like you discovered who you really are, your life's purpose and mission, and all that. And it's like every day you're taking it one step at a time. increasing or getting better. How did you come about that?
That's a really nice question. I was very lost for a very long time. I was actually talking to a friend driving back from the adventure park, and she drove. We took the kids out, and she said, "You know what, Tanya? Over the last couple of years, since you started doing this diabetes thing, I think you found yourself because you were lost." I asked questions. I remember sending text messages to so many of my friends saying, who do you think I am? Who do you think God made me to be? Who do you think? Because I was searching for an answer. Because when I look at my friends who are preachers or stand on pulpits or who do like um, some wonderful sermons and things like that, I think, wow. Like they do some serious Bible study, dissecting the Bible, and I'm thinking, wow, like where do I fit in? And I really, really was very lost for a long time. And in my wildest imagination, I would never have thought that clinically this is the direction because, I just thought, this is a job. I'm just going to do a job. I'm going to get home. I'm going to get paid a good salary. I'm going to just relax, make sure I'm a good mom, a good wife, and that's it. But I would say, obviously, I discovered my purpose, and the only way that I can say it is I just didn't wake up and discover it. I was hungry to know what I was here for, and I didn't know what I was here for. So I attended a program that we both attended called Speak for Gold by Mr. Fela Duratoye. And in that program, it was almost like the scales fell off my eyes, you
Mm,
know, and what I thought was nothing for me to offer became something that I thought, hang on a minute, I don't have to compare myself because I was
mm,
looking at all these people around me thinking they're doing great jobs and I had nothing to offer. But then I started discovering who I was. I thought I would walk into a room and people say the room lights up.
mm.
Like I would
Yeah.
smile, I would dance. I'm very jovial, I'm very playful,
Mm,
and even at work, the receptionist at work always say that it's such a breath of fresh air to see you because no matter how difficult the day is, I always thought, you know what, there's somebody else that's always worse off than me. But attending Speak for Gold for me was great because, like I said, that the scales fell off and I started to see or understand that, this is the
mm,
line that God wants you to go, at least for now.
mm.
Like I said earlier, the question is, can I save the world of diabetes? I don't think so. Maybe, but at the moment, I don't think so. But can I save somebody, or not save because I'm not a savior, but can I help someone live a better life, understand themselves better, or the disease better, so that they can manage it better? The answer is absolutely. Absolutely, because I have enough knowledge to impact knowledge, and I manage almost 1,000, patients that have diabetes in my current practice, and I see the changes in their blood sugar level. I see the changes in them. I see the understanding, and they keep saying nobody explained this to me the way you explained it. And I thought, aha, if I can make that difference. One grandmother said to me, thank you for helping me just be better and not have a heart attack or stroke. And I said, whoa, 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 I'm not saying you're not going to have a heart attack. Hopefully you're not. But she was saying thank you from the point of she felt that she could look up and she could think about because she had lost her husband, and she felt that she could be a better and more well because she was tired, she was peeing a lot, she was thirsty, she
Mm.
was in a very critical place, and she just didn't know that there was a solution. But she was on medication, and a little bit of medication and adjustment of medication, 3 months later, 4 months later, she felt like she had a bit of lease of life. That to me is something that makes me get up in the morning, and sometimes I will call my husband and say, I made a difference to someone today. And
Wow.
that's what's important to me.
I can imagine that feeling. You see, I mean, it wasn't a mistake for me to just use that word, a diabetes hero, because it's just like, when you watch all those animations and what have you, you just see you see Superman coming from somewhere. Superman, oh, he's come to save the day. You know, that aside, don't mind me. But the truth is, finding purpose, you're useful with yourself. It's like you wake up, you look forward to every day. It's not just one diary or whatever. You look forward to every day. And the truth is, that is fulfilling. Now, where do you see yourself, say, in the next 5 years, 10 years, short term, long term, on this dream that you have discovered?
That's a very interesting question. Some things I can't disclose right now, but there's, obviously there are things in the pipeline. Um, there are a lot of things in the pipeline that, because this is a national, or I don't know where this is going to go for now, I have to
Uh,
obviously
uh,
zip my mouth. And
let,
that's
let, 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 let me stop you there for a bit. Can you stop using the word pipeline? Because back home, when you say it's in the pipeline, you're looking for a big trouble because they'll go break the pipeline. You understand what I mean by that?
yeah.
Go
Well,
ahead.
there's under the belt or wherever you want
Mm,
to put it.
exactly.
And I hope that, whatever it is will make a difference. Like I said, one life at a time. My tagline is "Your health is my passion."
Wow.
And
Now
as
take that
best,
again. Take that again. My
my
health.
tagline is "Your
Yeah.
health is my passion."
Wow. I put it there. That's it. Go on.
you know, and I hope in a couple of years' time, to have some great collaborations to make a difference.
Mm,
I have no problem with any other race. 90% of in fact, 95% of the people I currently treat right now are all English. Um, but like I always said, my heart is for Africa. And I hope, in a couple of years' time to be able to help someone within the continent of Africa, starting with Nigeria and obviously going down to other African, Southern Africa, Eastern Africa, Northern Africa, and so on and so forth.
yeah.
And just having great collaborations with so many people to be able to add just that one more step,
Hmm.
towards advancing the knowledge that people have about diabetes. Um,
Wonderful.
yeah, that's all I
And
can say for now.
yes, the truth is what you have just said now, the way, permit me to use that word, because each time I talk like that, they kind of, they're going to spiritual or something. The way the universe works. When you put up a desire out there, it's like a magnet. Before you know it, you begin to attract same things to you. People across the globe, like you have said, within Africa, Kenya, Cameroon, Mozambique, South Africa, and what have you. You begin to like gravitate towards one another, and before you know it, you will not collide, as in there won't be a collusion per se, but you will meet each other with like, wow, we can actually do great stuffs. I never knew you existed. Oh, I never knew you existed, and all that. So the truth is, what you have said now, on a short term, I see something more than this. Your health is my passion. Awesome. Guys, we've been discussing with Tonye Oburoh. I call her the diabetes hero, and lovely, lovely discussion we've been having on the show. She's a mother, she's a wife. I know we're taking so much from her this evening, and we're so, so glad. But before we let you go, what is that one thing you want to say to your audience this evening?
Well, if someone is listening, there are two things I'm going to say. Someone is listening and is living with diabetes. It's not the end of the world.
Mhm.
There is solution.
Yeah.
And it's not about naming and shaming and saying you've got diabetes, don't need this, don't need that. There is technology and there is help, for you. So yes, there is what we call diabetes distress, where you are burdened by the disease and understanding and obviously knowing how to manage it. But with the right clinician, obviously there is help. And being a believer, or being a Christian, and a believer, I believe obviously in healing. But while the healing is in the process, there is help. That's for people who are living with diabetes. For people who don't have diabetes and are thinking, what am I here for? Why am I here? I always say to my nieces and my nephews that I grow, my husband's, family and nieces and nephews, they're mine anyway. I always say it's not about the numbers. It's not about how many social media followers you have. It's not about driving a Range Rover, which is a good car,
Mm-hmm.
or driving a Jaguar or a Mercedes Benz. They're all good aspirations to have, and you have to have them because that's what God wants us to have. But the
Mm.
truth of the matter is, it's about discovering why you're here. I call it the ripple effect. Affecting one life, you never know how much of a difference that can make to somebody else. Because you might
Mm.
think that it's just one life, but that one life can end up being a teacher who would teach the next president of America. It could be
And,
that one
and
life
the
that
next
you saved
the next president of Nigeria.
and the next president of Nigeria. It
Thank you.
could be that one life that they say the new king of Warri,
Mm-hmm.
Shakiri Kingdom. He's very well
The Olu
spoken.
of worry.
Olu, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah,
You
you're
know,
welcome.
he's very well spoken. My husband would kill me because he's a Shakiri.
Yeah.
um, he's very well spoken. He seems to have a great future, but somebody invested in him, and
Yeah.
hopefully he will make a difference, to his kingdom. It's about the life in front of you, knowing, because you could be like me that is thinking, why am I here? What am I here for? All my friends are doing such great works. They're doing this, they're doing that. You could be just that one person that supports those friends.
Mm.
To when they're down, you could be that arm, you could be that resting shoulder, you could be that person that just stands in the gap and prays for people. Never ever underestimate who you're called for. Even if you're a cleaner, without a cleaner, I would say that without the cleaners in the NHS who clean the hospitals, change the beds,
Mm.
it would be a
Mm.
messed up place. There'll be a lot of disease, more disease
Mm.
than we actually have. So no
Mm.
matter what you're doing, you might not feel that that's your purpose, but no matter what you're doing, just give it your all, you know.
Mm.
And when God blesses you in your little, you never know what it ripples out to become.
Wow, that was a mic dropping statement. Preach, preacher. If we're in church, that's what we're going to say. Amen to that. Guys, we've been discussing with Tonye Oburoh. I call her the diabetes hero. Honestly, she has opened our eyes to certain areas we thought we knew about diabetes, and you will agree with me, she's knowledgeable in this domain. Whoa, but time is not our friend whenever we come on the show like this, when we're having fun and all that. You look at it, wow, we've spent already 30 minutes. Yes, we have. But we need to let her go. That I know she will come back again, on the show and give us the next level, she's gotten to in this business and in this pursuit and career that she's discovered. You know how we do it on the show. This is the word cafe, and I'm your host, Amakri Isoboye. I believe in the power of words. Why? Because it is the unit of creation. Till I come your way again. Friend, what do you have a word for us? Bye. Ciao. See you tomorrow.
Odabo. Let me use the Yoruba.
Odabo. You're from Shekiri now. You should say something in the Shekiri, eh?
Uh,
You say something in
I've
Shekiri.
gone blank. I've gone blank. My sister-in-law probably kill me. I've gone blank.
No,
Yeah.
it's okay. It's okay, guys.
Oh,
Yes.
Ode Juma. I remember now. He says it's Ode
Okay.
Juma, which means
Okay. Good. 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 Don't mind her. She's from River State who has gone to Ishekiri. Well, she's a Nigerian all the same. Yes, people. Till we come your way again. Bye for now.
bye, bye.